We got a
You have
lot to talk about,
there we go.
man.
There we go.
We got a lot to talk about. How you doing?
What's going
How
on,
you
coach?
guys feeling?
Um,
Oh man, just in here, man. Just trying to get everything going, cracking. Everybody in the chat, man. What's up to everybody that's tapping in? Lot to talk about, man. Lot to talk about. Um, want to see where you guys' heads are at. Want to see what you're thinking so far. First game out the way. The good, the bad, if it's any ugly, if it's anything that was ugly to you. I want to know. I want to know what you think. I want to know how you feel about it. I want to know your input, your output, your above put, your below put. You know what I'm saying? I want to know, man. First, let me say a big shout out to John. Thank you, John, for tapping in, bro. You
of course.
know what I'm saying? Might have some other guys pop in here in just a second. Um, some of the other homies and bros, because I know Coach Carr went to the game. He's supposed to tap in with us and give us what he thought from a live perspective and let us know really what he thought from a bird's eye view, boots on the ground. Um, Shout out to Christian Troy, man. What's up, Christian? How you doing? Yeah, Keon got down. Anitra, how you doing, Anitra? Roll Tide to you. Good to see you. Crimson Dad, what's up with you, broski? How you doing? Good to see you, man. Sweet Home Bama 24, what's cracking? How you doing, brother? Good to see you. Matt Farms is in the house. You already know, Matt. How you doing? Anitra, you know it's always good to see you. You already know how I feel about you for sure. Bama fan 95. My broski, what's going on, man? How you doing? How you feeling? My brother John is right here in the house, man. Xavier Baker, what's going on, brother? Thank you, Xavier. Yeah, I had that deadgum mute button, man. I can't even get mad at Jimmy Stein and Luke no more. I'm following right. I'm following suit with those guys, right? Much love to you, man. My brother A Watt. What's up, A Watt? What you think, A Watt? I need to get your input, bro. Joe Willie, what's up, bro? How you doing, man? Roll Tide to you, Joe Willie. Good to see you. Thank you for tapping in, man. No J Speed 3, my broski. What's up with you, man? And Walt Albright. WA is in here. What's up, Walt? Roll Tide to you, man. Let me know what you think, Walt. Let me get your input. Bama fan 95, my brother. I need to know what you think, brothers. John, let's hop right into it, man. Let's hop right directly into it. Let's waste no time. What do you think? I know it's just the first
Oh
game,
man,
but we gonna analyze the first game. What you start off a little rocky, start off a little rocky, right? What you
it
think, John? Play script,
so there is
everything.
a lot to take away from this game. I did not
Hmm.
expect this game to reveal how much we were going to learn from this team and this coaching staff from the get go.
Yes,
The number one thing that I took away from this game, the
substitution.
amount of creativity that is in this
Yes,
offense now is light years ahead of us when we had Tommy Reese and when we had Bill O'Brien. Not even close.
yes.
Um, it definitely revealed how much the tight end position was going to play a role in this, right? So in this offense. But I got a couple things here. I'll start off with a positive. I don't know how long you want me to rant for here, and
Oh, go
then
right ahead, brother. Take your time.
so let's get off with the positives, right? So we'll start off with number one difference I seen between a late Saban team, two things actually, and the very first game with Kalen DeBoer. Number one, I have not seen that much excitement on a sideline with the players and the coaches. The whole game, the energy was skyrocket the whole time, right? Everybody was with everybody. They were hyping each other up. I mean, it just felt
Yeah.
like more of a family atmosphere, right? So having each other's backs. The second thing is this: Kalen DeBoer let that team run that offense all four quarters. He wasn't about to run the ball 25 times in a row in that fourth quarter, even though we're up big. He's getting quality touches to these second, third, and fourth stringers. You know
Yes.
what I mean? So, like, when I mean quality, I mean Ty Simpson is able to throw the ball on first down, right? So near the red zone, even though we're up big, and I think that's a recruiting tactic, and I love it from the fact of I think we have around 25 recruits that were in the stands tonight watching this game, and it's a way to advertise yourself as, hey, number one, if you're a talented enough freshman, you're going to be like Ryan Williams and be able to show out in game one and earn your spot, or number two, you're going to be able to get in the game even though you may not be like the guy yet, right? But you at least have a chance to advertise yourself. And I think that keeps those guys from going inside that transfer portal, right? It kind of cements them a little bit more and entrench them in a little bit more into the offensive scheme. But moving on from that, the most obvious things were, look, Keon Sabb, 2 interceptions, and they were wonderful interceptions, fast flowing defense, sideline to side. You couldn't run laterally on this team if you tried, right? So every time they tried off tackle, whatever it was like, no, it just was not going to happen. Great stuff there. And then the defense, and I hate to keep coming back to the defense, but it is what it is. Robinson was in the QB's grill every single time you turned around. There's no doubt about it. The pass rush as a whole looked completely different from what we've seen in years, right? So the fact that we're coming off the edge, rushing forward, and we're getting in the quarterback's face off the edge is amazing, right? So there's like I said, there's so much to take away, and I can go on and on here. And then you look at Ryan Williams, 2 touchdowns. Everybody was talking about, well, how much playing time will he see as a freshman in this offense, and I think it really stood out to, the guy's ready. He's an elite, I'll say almost elite route runner, right? He's got the speed, the acceleration. He's got the ability to create space immediately, right? So, I don't know what else to say other than we can run the ball. Jam Miller, Justice Haynes. I think at one point, Justice Haynes had 4 rushes for 126 yards and a touchdown or 2 touchdowns, something wild like that. And now that's the most obvious positives, and I'll kind of piggyback, so I don't want to sit here and take up 20 minutes. But the defense, or not the defense, the not so good things, right? Elijah Pritchett was getting his butt taken to the woodshed, plain and simple, from the left tackle position, and then they decided they didn't make the adjustment, and we'll put him at right tackle. Didn't make a difference. He was getting beat on both sides. So that's an obvious one. Unfortunately, Caden Proctor being hurt, that's part of the reason for that. Penalties. Clearly, these guys are young, right? It's a brand new defense. I get that. But Red Morgan definitely committed a couple penalties here and there. You're going to kind of expect it the first game, but hopefully we can clean that up. But I think the one thing I'll take away from the defense on the negative side more than anything, and it's Nick Saban's biggest pet peeve, the wrapping up was poor. There was times where we just could not wrap up, and these guys are getting 5, 6, 7, 8 yards, right? And I understand I'm nitpicking here because that's what I'm having to do here in a game that ended 63-0. And lastly, I'll just say this. They were in the red zone twice. They have 0 points on the scoreboard. So, that was pretty much just my quick rundown real quick of what I wrote down as I was watching the game. But yeah, man, I was extremely impressed with the defense. And I was extremely impressed with the offense outside of the little bit of sputtering at the beginning, which I kind of expected with new offense, poor conditions when we're talking about weather, right? Just getting done pouring down rain, literally. But yeah, as a whole, I think as an Alabama fan, you can breathe a little bit, right? The pressure comes out a little bit. And I think, too, when you watch Kalen DeBoer on the sideline and that staff on the sideline, it's a lot different when you see a coach that just stays even kill the whole game, right? And I'm not saying this is a good or bad thing, but it's a lot different seeing that, right? And it tends to carry over to your players how you react sometimes. So by him staying calm when the offense was sputtering, it seemed to calm everybody else down, and then things kind of started moving forward a little bit. But yeah, that's it.
I think so too. I got to agree with you, John, 100%, man. 100%, I agree with you, brother. It's so much stuff that I took in from it, man. Mr. Renrico, what's up, Renrico? How you doing, man? Good to see you, brother. Good to see you, man. Yeah, Renrico. It's some good, it's some bad. It's typical first game, but it's some things that I took from it. A lot of them is the same thing that John said. You know what I'm saying? Sweet Home Bama makes a great point. Defense only gave up 142 total yards. Love it, right? It's several things. Shout out to Milton Johnson. What's up, Milton? Good to see you, man. My brother Xavier Barker's in here. Listen, guys, AY makes a great point. For me, here's a few things that I took from it. I was very, very shocked. Not shocked, but I guess thoroughly intrigued that Quay Russaw started.
Yes.
And he caused havoc, man. Quay Russaw, and what I noticed, they put in Quindarius on one side and Keanu Court on the other on third and long. So what that tells me is Quay is probably a better linebacker, probably a better fit on running plays. He's probably a better tackler and probably a little more physical in the run game, right?
Yep.
But they put in Q-Rob and Keanu on the down and distance, on the long down and distance plays,
Yep.
which Quay proved he can rush too, but Q-Rob was causing havoc on third and long all night long. So I loved how they used all of them, right? That's one thing. Yeah, Elijah struggled, man. And the young kid was in a bad position. He didn't realize he was gonna
Yeah.
start. He probably knew he was gonna play. You know what I mean? Shout out to Bear, my brother from Run the Table Sports, man. Shout out to Bear, man. Good to see you, Bear. Shout out to D-Fin. We had a long night in Auburn, man. What the hell, bro? 73-3. What the man? I don't even want to talk about that game, and I'm thoroughly upset by that showing. But here's the good news, guys. I love the fact that they had so many substitutions.
Yep.
We played man. I don't think I've ever seen us sub that much. Not that much. I mean, this wasn't just some fourth quarter subbing. They was playing freshmen throughout the game. I seen Xavier Mincy at corner. I seen Xavier Brown at corner. Jalen Mbakwe at corner. Deshaun Jones at. We played practically about 5 corners, man. I seen Bray Hubbard at safety. Keon Sabb playing safety. I seen, bro, we had so much substitution. And speak on Keon Sabb for a minute. Keon Sabb, his ball skills is outstanding. The way he played the ball, that's that vision coverage Jake was talking about. That's that vision coverage. It gives you an opportunities, man, to make turnovers. It does. Hamilton, what's up with you, bro? How you feeling, man? How you doing? Man, listen, Red Morgan played very, very well. Red, you know what it shows me, guys? It shows me that here in the next year or so, our secondary is probably going to be the strength of this team.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be the strength of this team, man. We got young kids at every position that are going to be, and I never doubted it as far as talent. The talent was never in question. It's just the amount of reps and the experience is what scared me, right? What else I got? Now, the one thing I didn't like, man, and I think we just sort of fell asleep a little bit. Katrina, what's up with you, sweetie? How you doing? It's good to see you, Katrina. Thank you for coming, Katrina. How you feel, Katrina? I want to know what you think. This is the one thing that I did not like. We let them go on an 18-minute drive.
Yeah.
45 total plays, total 127 yards, and which is only 2.8 yards a play. Like, we didn't give up anything, but we got to get off the damn field on third down. If that was a better team, we might have been in some trouble right there. We got to get off the field. And I think that was just one of those things where the defense sort of fell asleep. You know what I mean? It happens. It happens. But to have a drive that long and to let them keep the ball for 21 play drive, a total 45 plays total that they had the ball total that half.
Yep.
45 plays in one half is too damn much for the defense to play, man.
No,
Way
I agree.
too much. 18 minutes? No. We now that's something, it'll give us something to work on, right? But the good thing is we didn't give up any points. We didn't give up any points, man. Really, really, really excited about Quay Russaw, man. Really excited about Quay Russaw. I hope we get I pray we get Proctor back, man.
Yeah.
Elijah blesses Elijah, he didn't play bad. He actually played well in a few series in the middle of the game, but there was some times when he really, really, really got beat. And if we're going to get beat by Western Kentucky, moving forward, we got to shore that left side up, man. We got to shore that up. Stephen Craig, what's up with your brother? Good to see you, Stephen. Eric D, my brother's in the house, man. You know me, man. I'm a pessimist by nature.
Yeah.
Bro. I have to find something negative to make me feel better. You know what I'm saying? Even if I know it's not really negative, I think I feel better. I've been Sabanized so much. I have to have something to complain about, right? It makes me feel better. So I want to know what you think, John. What do you think about Quay Russaw? The kid's only a redshirt freshman.
He's a redshirt freshman, I believe. Look, there's like you said, the substitutions were insane. Now, I will say this, guys. Western Kentucky has a good head coach. They have a great defense coordinator in Tyson Summers. this was not supposed to be this type of game for Alabama and Milroe in this offense because they run a multiple scheme defense, right? But it runs between a 3-4 and 4-3, right?
Facts.
A bunch of shell coverage, a lot of disguises, stuff like that. But it almost seemed like immediately the style, I guess, I don't know what you would call it, but those stick routes and stuff like that immediately almost erased anything that was bringing, right? And Milroe, yes, a lot of people are going to jump on him and say he had a rocky start, and he kind of did. There's no doubt about it. But I think over the course of the game, Milroe seemed to get more comfortable in the offense because at the beginning, if you would have really paid attention, like really close, you can definitely tell he drops down a little bit, didn't want to go through all the progressions and stuff like that. And then the more the game came to him, the more it seemed to slow down and he seemed to get a little bit better, right? So
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be overly critical because, like you said, I'm one of those players or fans too, right? So I want to get on here and criticize every little thing.
Yeah.
And with that being said, Justin Jefferson is another guy you might
Yes.
want to start paying attention to. A young cat. I mean, we're talking 4 deep. In really the end of the first, you saw the second stringers. You saw almost
Yeah.
all of them at one point, right? On the defensive side, at least. And then here's another key point: the touchdown drives for Alabama. If you look at the touchdown drives, all of them but one, and it was the last one for Jalen Milroe, that were under Milroe. None of them went over a minute and 31 seconds. So you're talking about explosive plays built by creativity. And my God, like I said, Ryan Williams is showing out. He's really putting people on notice on what he can do.
Coach Carl, let me bring it to you. This is what I was talking about with Ryan. I went over a deep dive about why this kid, I thought he was going to play because he attacks the top of the route.
Oh,
And from what I see with some of our receivers at the time, we still wasn't attacking the top of the route the way we need to. Ryan will attack the top of that dig, will attack the top of that post corner. He'll attack that joker. Coach Carl, you was at the game. Give me what you think, man. Give me what you think if you can hear me.
Well, Coach, sitting in the stands, I took my grandson and one of his friends to the game, trying to let him get a little Alabama action. But sitting in that stand, man, watching Ryan Williams coming out here breaks, that dude is different.
Yes.
I already knew he was different from watching him in high school, but just to watch him in that college stadium, man, I think he probably done picked up a little more speed. He real different, young man. Like just like you said, at the top of his break. Once he get at the top of his break, and he identified whether the opponent is playing him tight or loose,
Thanks.
it's a wrap, man. It's like as soon as he found out that corner was playing too tight in the hips, it's like he just turned another gear on, man. He was gone. Dude
That's all
different, man.
fact.
Then when
Yes.
he came on that deep route and caught that pass in between two, and then he split the two, turned around and got upfield, broke. That's second nature, man. That's something you can't train right there. Broke a tackle at 175 pounds and go upfield. You can't teach that.
It's a whole fact, man. I love the fact, man, when I watch this kid, bro, the kid, and I wish I could really put it into layman terms, man, what I mean by attacking the top of the route. I wish I could make people understand what I mean. So simple, man. When you run the route, routes are broken into 2 segments, right? And some into 3, depending on what route it is.
yeah.
You have to attack the second part of the route just as hard as you release. You can't just release hard, then run the second part of the route all slow, right? You got to attack the second part of the route. You have to attack it because the second part of the route, a lot of times, is just as important as the release. That's what made Devontae Smith so good. This kid would run a dig, and when he would attack that dig so hard, right? When he released inside and he would cut so hard inside, he knew how to set the safety up. He wouldn't make his quarterback throw him open every time. The kid understood how to get open. Davis Lewis Love, $5 super chat. Davis Lewis, thank you, man. We appreciate you. Roll Tide to you. The board plays 75% of the roster. Once they scale down the substitutions, we would be dominant. That was a practice to finalize the depth chart. Davis, I agree with you 100%. Coach DeBoer is very, very, very ahead of the game.
Yeah.
He clearly understood we were going to have some opportunities to play a lot of kids. What better way than and did you hear what he said? I think it was at the end of the game. He said, we're still learning our roster. We're learning our team. What he's saying is, I'm just learning these guys under the lights myself. So I need to see them all, right? So that's very important, Davis Lewis. You're 100% correct. Um, I don't think you'll see this much substitution against the better teams, but this week and next week, especially against South Florida, a passing team, I do think you'll still see the substitution to really, really give us a good view of that veer and shoot, to give us some good experiments against that veer and shoot, which is very similar to Tennessee's offense. Thank you, Davis Lewis. We appreciate you, brother. Roll Tide to you, and you are 100% correct. Davis Lewis Love with the $5 super chat. I cannot disagree with you one bit, man. Much love, Katrina. Thank you for tapping in, Katrina. You already know how I feel about you. Thank you so much, man. Been rocking with me for a long time. Be jamming. There is a lot that our O-line can work on, pass protection being one thing. Roll Tide roll. I'll say this, be jamming. I was more happy because they blitzed a lot. They brought a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
And yes, we gave up some sacks, right? But nothing like we usually giving up 6 a game, 7 a game, right? So I believe I can live with tonight. I really believe I can live with it. What's up, Pam? Good to see you, Pam. Shout out to Pam. Much love to Pam, man. Good to see you, Pam. Ty Does Motto. Ty, $2 super chat from Ty Does Moto, man. Love hearing guys' analysis. Much love, Coach Sean. Much love to you right back, Ty. Shout out to Ty. Great name. Same name as my brother Ty Hayes, right? Brother Ty Hayes. Shout out to Ty over there on Bleach Report doing his thing, as always. Eric D says, Xavier Brown, Jaden Mbakwe, Red Morgan look great at cornerback tonight. Keon Sabb makes you say Caleb who. Keon had a great game, man.
Yeah.
And here's the great thing, the guys that I want you guys to speak on, John and Carl. That safety spot is very, very freaking important for us going to this next game. Keon Sabb, that safety spot is damn near integral playing against this team that's coming up. Now, this team we play coming up, USF, will try to challenge us more in the pass game. Ty Does Moto, thank you, man. Thank you so very much for that $2 super chat. We appreciate you more than you know, brother. Thank you. So this team the team coming up will try to challenge us in the pass game, right? I want to get you guys' take on what you think about this South Florida. Thank God for the win. Moving on to South Florida. What you've seen tonight, do you think it will help us going into next week, John?
Yeah. So immediately since we're bringing up the secondary, the first thing I don't think people may not have paid attention to was the depth chart was not correct that they released. Number one, Malachi Moore was not playing at the true safety spot he was supposed to be at, right? Same thing with Keon Sabb. There was a lot of movement in the defensive depth chart that we didn't see until it hit game time. But yeah, there is a lot we can take away from this game going into USF. I think they're going to be a much bigger challenge when it comes to the passing game. No doubt about it. Nothing against TJ Finley. And you know what I mean? I forgot the second stringer guy's name. But I think USF is going to be the true test for our secondary, at least moving forward. I was not impressed with Wisconsin today, and I don't think we're going to get much out of that game as far as secondary wise. And I was just impressed with the flow of the game. Keon played, I guess it's a rover position. Correct me, guys, because you guys are coaches. More of a rover position, right? So basically, he's going by his vision. When he's sitting back there at that safety spot, that's kind of I'm assuming the role you're playing there. And it seemed like the defense in the secondary had the ability to play more with their eyes and less thinking than in the past with underneath Saban. Is that versus pattern matching? Is that kind of the concept here with this secondary?
Yeah, pattern matching, and Coach Carl can tell you the same thing. Pattern matching, man. If you don't play that scheme the way it's supposed to, you have a damn wide receiver running wide open, right?
Okay. Gotcha.
Pattern matching is you have to really, really, really have the brain for that. It's a lot of different things you do in pattern matching, man. It's very complicated. It's very complicated, man.
Because you're passing off coverages and stuff, right? Correct.
You definitely passing off fast.
So that makes it kind of more difficult, I would assume here. And I think because of that, that's why I speak on this. I feel like because of that, yes, we gave up some corner routes and stuff like that, right? In the short game, especially. But as a whole, it seemed like this defense, especially in the secondary, was just playing so much faster. And no one's talking about Damani Jackson, and there's a reason. it's because he locked him down.
It's a fact.
There was no reason to even throw to his side because if you go back and look at the film, he wasn't open. So I know he won't get the love because the stats won't be there, but the love is the same thing Patrick Surtain got when he was at Alabama. He may not give you all the stats, but there's a reason for that. You can't throw in his direction. So yeah, that's all I got on that.
Coach Carl, this secondary. I want your grade on how the secondary played. Shout out to Khalil Cooper. What's up, Khalil? How you doing, brother? Good to see you, man. My brother Eric D always with the great comments. Paul Malone, much love to you. 31. Who is 31 on our team? I don't know who is 31. 31.
Oh, you're talking about Jeremiah Alexander, I'm assuming.
He was in street clothes. He was in street clothes.
He's hurt, so he's gonna be out for the next week or two.
Yeah.
I'm assuming if that's number 31. Let me look it up real quick.
I think he's 35. I think he's 35. 31. I don't know who 31 is. See if it's on the right. I think Jeremiah Alexander is 35, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong.
Here. I'm looking it up right now. Let's see here. Connor Talty?
Keelan Keeley.
Oh, Keon Keeley. Facts.
There we go.
I seen him on the sideline. I don't know.
He was injured too, though. Keon Keeley. They said he was going to play in this game, but they weren't sure. They said for sure though Jeremiah Alexander wasn't supposed to play.
Yeah, I seen him. He didn't even have pads on.
No.
Yeah, he was there. I think he might have been beat up too. He might have been beat up too, Paul. I think he had a couple dings too. Mr. B 205, Coach Sean, it's been a minute, bro. Did you expect that many freshmen? Mr. B, good to see you, brother. Shout out to Mr. B 205. I knew we were gonna play freshmen, but not that damn many and not that early. But I actually liked it. That's actually, listen, Mr. B, I really respect the way he done it. Because if you're gonna play that many freshmen, what have we all said all season? Let's get some of these Is that some static? Somebody know it?
No, I think Coach Carl's eating.
Yeah, man. I got these boys, and then these boys and him, they don't know how to be quiet.
Oh, okay. I know what that was. Coach Carl, tell me what you think about this secondary, man. How they played so far.
The secondary, man, from the way I look at the secondary tonight's game, if it's any indicator of how that secondary gonna play this season and how fast and free they play, this defense is lights out. I'm just telling you, man, by being in that stadium, watching this defense compared to watching Nick Saban defense for the last past 3 years, even with Nick Saban defenses the last past 3 years, that defense would have gave up 3, 6, 10 points, maybe, sometimes 14 points against teams like this. This defense is lights out. Like the cornerbacks are they in position at all time. Keon Saps is all world, man. It's like when Keon Saps makes you think about Caleb Down, like who? But Keon Saps was in the right spot to get picks. He could have. I thought he almost had 2 pick sixes. The way he covered ground, man, and the couple picks that they missed. I don't know, man. This defense is ferocious, man. I'm telling you, I like it. I was kind of waiting to see a little bit of King Matt, but Keon Sapp is a dog. Like Keon Sapp is the truth. And this defense, these defensive back flying around, and I don't know if that's gonna be the starting defensive backfield as it's set today. But even with that lineup that he's sitting out there tonight, that line he's sitting out there tonight is ferocious. I don't care what nobody say, man. That line is ferocious. Corey Rusall coming on the end, killing. Corey Rusall is, oh my God, Corey Rusall is a monster.
Got my brother B Sharp.
James Smith. Like, man, it's different. It's just something different about Coach. This Alabama defense from the past, man. And I ain't gonna tell you no lie, I'm excited. I love the way K. Walmart called defenses. I love the way you switched our defensive line up. I love the way the defensive back flying around. My only question was like Deshaun Damani Jackson played a little too far off coverage, and he didn't get turned around fast enough. But everything else on defensive line, Man, they coming. Like they really, really coming. And I can't lie, that defense is ferocious. That defense is fire.
My brother Brinsky.
What's up,
I need to know
Prinsky?
what you think. What's your thoughts, Brinsky? What's your thoughts, man?
Oh, man, that game. I'm loving what I'm seeing, man. The future is bright, man. Those guys was flying
Yes.
around tonight, man. Red Morgan was playing great. I think one of the biggest standouts, two boys from Montgomery, James Smith and Quay Russo. Quay, I mean, oh my God, Quay was just getting off on every play.
Yeah.
James filling the holes and batting down a lot of balls tonight,
Yep.
chasing them. Oh my God, man. The future is so bright. I'm loving everything. And I think Jahad Campbell is I already expected this for his junior year. Like him just flying around. Like he's the number one linebacker in the SEC. And he was playing like a man possessed tonight. And I love every second of it. Secondary, like I said, Keon Sabb. If he plays like that all year, I ain't saying you got to get an interception every game, but that would be lovely.
Max.
But if he plays like that all year, hey man, hey, the sky's the limit. Only thing I'm still concerned about, and it's not really gonna show until we get in big games, is just how young that secondary is. That is it. That's really all it is. But they've been thrown in the fire now, which is perfect. So they're gonna have so much experience to build off of, man.
Right.
I love it, man.
That's a whole fact, man. Shout out to Car Conversations, man. Good to see you, Car Conversations. So good to see you in here, man. Shout out to JJ Jason Jackson, man. Shout out to everybody who tapped in. Eric D, as always. My brother A Watt, as always. The brother Bear, as always. Thank you guys for tapping in, as always, man. Here's my thing, man. We all expected to see Mike Jones. What's up with you, bro? Yeah, Mike talked about the and see, I hate seeing freshmen on punt return. But I will say this, man. Cole Adams, you could definitely tell. I mean, and Jalen Mbakwe too. You could definitely tell those kids are very, very, very comfortable. They've been taking reps there since the spring. Um, every time they punt the ball, man, Mike, I was cringing, like, ugh, I was cringing, man. But they both did very, very well, man. I give them much, much love. They both done their thing, Mike. And as long as they catch that ball, man, I'll be just fine. My thing is this, though, guys. When I watch, they had Xavier Mincy playing man coverage a lot, number 12. Xavier Mincy is another one, man. I thought they would eventually move him to safety. But that kid is physical. He's tall. I didn't realize he was that tall.
6'3".
That kid lucky. Is he 6'3"?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Man, listen. This is what I can tell you guys, man. Yeah, Carr. Look, Cole Adams is gonna break one. He gonna eventually break one. You watch, man. This is something I tell you too. Something else I tell you too, Carr. Maybe next year, maybe this secondary will be the strength of this team. To have that many young kids in the rotation and getting playing time right now, man. And just like Renrico said, I was just so happy to see us pop one for 60 or 70 yards on the run game. I hadn't seen that in a long time, man.
Yeah.
We actually and John, let me start with you and get your take on this. Antoine, what's up with you, bro? Roll Tide to you, Antoine. Man, listen, I'm an offensive guy. I was so happy to see a competent offense. No more high lows on 3rd and 2. No more shotgun on 3rd and 1. We get sacked for 5 yards in the back. We actually was running a competent offense. You know what made Georgia so effective at Clemson? Outside of the fact that they just Clemson got out coached. You know what made Georgia so effective? Georgia don't try to step outside the box that they know they can do, right? They don't try to do nothing that's out of their ordinary, right? And that's what I respect, man. They run a competent offense. We can call it boring if we like, whatever the case may be. They know what they do best and they stick to it, right?
Yep.
Last year we was all over the place. We didn't throw screens. It was just like we were just calling plays to call them. We actually ran a competent offense, John. I want to know what you know about that. The play script was great. Run to pass ratio was great. What you think?
Here's what I loved about this game from the first snap is that it took 4 weeks for Tommy Rees to realize that let Jalen Milroe run the ball. If that's one of his strengths, run it. And what do you see on the first, or I think it was the first or second drive? You're getting called and scripted run plays for Jalen Milroe. A couple of them ended up as touchdowns. And it's like, that right away made me feel more comfortable. So, okay, we're not trying to fit right a round peg in a square hole anymore. We're actually trying to build an offense, call the plays that tailor to this offense and these plays. And even look at, like you mentioned earlier with Ryan Williams, look at the way the play calls are being done, right? Ryan Williams can blow the top off of the defense. So what do? That's what we do, right? With Ryan Williams. And I know a lot of people are going to give some hate towards Jeremy Bernard because you don't really see him that much tonight. Well, there was no reason to see him that much tonight. And I feel like this play calling is tailored to, we're going to run the plays that fit this offense against that defense. And that's just the way it's going to go. And the second thing is, when have you ever seen Jalen Milroe ever underneath center like we did tonight?
Exactly. Great point.
Great point. So I just feel like we actually have a competent staff. And look, I know a lot of credit's going to go to Nick Sheridan, but when you include like Jamarcus Shepard and these guys, Jamarcus Shepard was a co-offense coordinator, with Kalen DeBoer at Washington, Courtney Morgan coming in, building this staff top to bottom, helping the recruiting, building this roster obviously is a tough job on its own. But putting this type of game together in game one, I don't care who it's against, but against this type of defense in Western Kentucky is impressive to me from top to bottom. And then I love you brought up James Smith because I can't believe I didn't think of that. I'll be honest with you. When he batted down the second ball, I was like, okay, this dude is being for real. This reminds me a lot of Marcel Darius, who just always tended to have his hand up, always had his hands up. And look at the results. I mean, great stuff from top to bottom. I mean, that's just my take on it. I know that's a lot about defense too, but yeah, I could talk about this all night. I took so much from this, in my opinion.
I'll say this too: with the first half, they was actually rolling coverage to Jeremy Bernard, number 5. They was trying to not let him get the ball. They was rolling the safety over to it. They definitely did their research on Coach DeBoer, and I think they wanted to take Jeremy Bernard away and let somebody else beat them. Right? They definitely was bracketing him with trying to put resources toward him. Let me know what you think, Coach Carl. I need to know about the offense, man. I need to know about the offensive script. Are you satisfied from run to pass? What do you think about the offensive script that you saw?
Yeah, I'm good with the offense, man. Like you said, man, with that bracket coverage on Jeremy Bernard, it actually opened up the game a little bit for Ryan Williams to get some of those deep shots in the second quarter.
Yep.
Yeah, a lot of read in the first quarter. Jalen Milroe missed the underneath reads he missed. What surprised me the most on offense, but Parker with the bad snaps. That's what surprised me the most, the bad snaps on offense, because we was in positions that we probably would have got some good drives going. Snap over there, through low snaps that we really wasn't expecting this year, but hopefully, they're just first game jitter coming out of Parker with that loud Alabama crowd. So maybe just first game jitters at Alabama center. But that was the biggest issue with me on offense, was the bad snaps and some of the missed blocks, man. Like Ricker Ford had a few missed blocks on the end. So that thing, like, that was one of the bigger things. He had a few missed blocks on that right side. Everything else looked pretty stellar. I love the way they run. They had a little run pass out for Jalen. I love the way they run that pin and pull in the second quarter.
Sir.
Get Justin Hayes on the outside. That pin and pull, that's a hell of an offensive play. When Justin Hayes turned over field, went 80 yards, man, I was like, oh my goodness. That pin and pull is something different. So I love that. And then, like I said, man, that RPO that turned Ryan Williams free on that go route, that dig route, that hard dig route when Ryan Williams gets to the top of that dig, break down, cut inside, and safeties in the corner, and Jalen Milroe put it on the dime. I want to see a little bit more out of Cato Olin, because I want to see that talent, and I actually want to see a little bit more out of Rico Scott, because of the noise that he was making in the second scrimmage. Other than that, man, I think Ty Simpson was a little too eager in the third quarter to try to make plays, and he made a couple bad reads. Other than that, man, I think over and all, we just gotta fix a little bit of stuff on the offensive line, fix some snaps, and clear up a little bad reads with the offense is capable of dropping 50 points a game easily. Very, very, very easy. They capable of dropping 50 points.
Facts. Oh, facts, man. Be sharp. What you think about that offense? Are you satisfied with the run to pass ratio, or do you think it's something they could have did better? Prince, you still there?
My bad, my bad.
Okay, no
My,
problem. No
my
problem.
fault, my fault. I
Go
was trying
ahead,
to
bro. You
rush
good?
back. But yeah, man, I was loving just like what coach was just saying, man. I was kind of shocked by the snaps, but that's just week one. I'm glad it's happening
Yeah.
now. We won't see that like Seth McLaughlin last year. We won't
Yeah.
be seeing that. It's just like, man, them guys just trying to fill out each other. It's all right. The world is not falling apart. Like, oh my God, we can't find a center. Like at one point, we couldn't find a kicker, which
Fact.
I think is one of the most underrated things of the game. Is because even though it was all field goals, it looked like we got ourselves a kicker too.
Yes.
So, but clearly we haven't been in them situations to kick yet. But Ryan, like I said, man, I said it day one. I think this is the best wide receiver to come out the state of Alabama since Julio Jones, and he is just doing like he's still in high school. Just off those two plays, can't wait to see his growth. Jam and Justice Haynes. I don't know. I think they had them low for were they low or they was number one for top running backs in the SEC.
SEC. I think we might have been the number one in SEC. I know
Okay.
they nationally they had Ohio State over us and somebody else.
Are we talking about what was the question?
It,
Sorry.
it was I was saying
Yeah.
like you know how they had a preseason like
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Tandems.
yeah tandems and all that. And I think we were number one, yeah. So just the simple fact that those guys was out there balling, man. They were just
Yeah.
balling. And I loved every second of it, man. Justice broke that 80 plus yard when Jam running that thing. So that's the only thing you get off. I was wondering why Elijah Pritchett was out there at first. I thought I
Yeah.
was tripping. Because
I
I
thought I
thought
was tripping too. Me too, man.
you remember like the very first play, like Tyler Booker and I forgot who else helmet came off, and I thought it was what's my boy? Caden Proctor. I thought of
Mhm.
both of them. So that's why I thought Elijah Pritchett was in the game. And I was like, why is Pritchett still in the game?
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
and I didn't realize that he got hurt in pregame. And I was like, oh my
Yeah.
God.
I
And
knew when I seen him in the sling, Brinsky, I said, "Yep,
yeah,
that's why I
yeah,
preached it out there."
yeah, because Jans hates Pritchett, man. He hates Pritchett so bad, man.
Because Jay
And
be going in.
he was tweeting it like, why is he in the game? Why is he still getting chances? And you see, like, bro, he's struggling against these guys. So
Yeah.
imagine when we get through tougher competition, like, oh man, we need you back.
Yeah.
Bad.
Badly. You know, I tell you this, Brinsky, when I watch as an offensive guy, when I watch Elijah's a great athlete, but he's very when I watch him, man, his pass set is so lazy. Like, and I'm not saying he's a lazy player. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Elijah, if you see this, brother, I'm not getting on you like that. What I notice is though, your kick slide is so late to the party. It's like the defensive back, the defender gets on his side of his shoulder. And it's like he don't play leverage very well. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. He don't play leverage very well at all. As long as it's a run game, he seems to do pretty well. But if it's a pass set, they get on what we call his top side. They get on his top side very, very easily, man. And once you get shoulder length to him, you got the tackle beat. He's still facing this way. The edge guy's on your shoulder. He's beat you. Then you have no choice but to turn around and either hold him or try to push him past the pocket. So you know, now I want to talk about this. We can't get into the good without getting into the bad, right? Shout out to Hamilton Presnell. Shout out to you, bro. A-Town right there, man. Much love to you, Hamilton. We got to talk about the bad as well. What's up, Roll Tide to you, Matt Farms? What's up with you, Javian? How you doing, man? Good to see you, bro. Antoine says, so I seen the stat where Jeremiah Smith was first freshman to catch 2 touchdowns in the game since the 90s. Exactly. All we need is wait for Ryan to suit up the same day. Exactly.
Home up there.
Exactly, man. No doubt about it. I'll take Ryan over any of these guys, bro. Yeah, I wanted the same thing, Bear. How the hell Proctor get hurt warming up? You know what I'm saying? I don't know how that happened. He looked like he was in a damn sling. What the hell you was doing in warm up to be in a sling, right? So, John, we can't talk about the good without talking about the bad. I know my bad is, if I had to give you mine really quickly, we still seem to hold the football too long in certain times, man. Right?
Yep.
Jalen played a great game, but we still holding the ball just a little too long because the pocket was there a few times.
Yeah.
Jalen actually had time to sit there. The pocket was there. It was just like it was supposed to be. But we still hesitating a little bit, right? And he takes off, right? That's great that he take off. But I'd love to see him release that thing, go down the field, man. Underneath, I know one time he had Kendrick Law coming on a little mesh across the middle. Didn't even look at him. I mean, the defender fell down or got bumped in by one of the ran into somebody or something. But Kendrick was, when I say wide open, it was nobody with him.
Yeah.
And we just didn't see him, right? So I'm hoping and praying, man, that we get that underneath vision fixed. What do you think, John? If it's something that you saw that you didn't really, feel too good about.
I mean, it's because of I'll say the last 3 years at Alabama, maybe even 4. I forgot the stat line. Let me bring this up real quick. It's going to be, let's see here. Where's our penalties at? 7 for 59 yards. Yeah. I get it. It's early, first game of the season, get this stuff corrected. But a lot of that was attributed to the offensive line too, struggling, Elijah Pritchett in particular, because I'll give a shout out to Tyler Booker. He was throwing men around today. I don't know if you guys watched the guards play, but my goodness, it was ridiculous at times. It was just kind of overshadowed by Elijah Pritchett getting completely smoked off the edge for the most part. But yeah, and I believe I said it earlier as well. Let me flip back over here to my notes. But the penalties, and obviously Jalen Milroe holding on to the ball still a little bit too long was a big one. Yeah, I think pretty much we covered everything else that I saw as a negative. I really wish I would have saw Graham Nicholson kick because of all the controversy between Miami of Ohio and Chuck Martin and all that noise that was being made. But yeah, that's pretty much. And I think a lot of this is due to continuity because, like you said, Coach, you're rotating a lot of players in, so you're going to have mistakes when you're rotating at that rate, in my opinion. So I think a lot of this can be fixed over the next couple of weeks, hoping Caden Proctor comes back in time for a Wisconsin and Georgia game. So,
and I will say this, that long drive they went on, that 18-minute drive, whatever the hell it was, that was when we had a gang of subs gang of subs on the defensive line and everything. Coach Carl, if it's something that you do want to get us to sure up, man, what you think?
Offensive line play for me.
Yeah.
Defensive line, I think the defensive line play lights out. The linebackers are ferocious. Defensive back play great. My thing, offensive line play. Like you said, man, we won't survive a hard week with Elijah Pritchett. So I figure next week, instead of just coming out with Elijah Pritchett, maybe try another freshman or another young guy at that name left tackle and see how it works out, man. We got a lot of talent that we recruited, that Nick Saban recruited anyway. So to use some of that talent that we have, just try them out next week. If they don't work, then we always got to go back to Elijah Pritchett and hope he get better. But the thing with Pritchett, you're an offensive coach, it's not the fact that Pritchett is not capable of blocking. He's a heavier set of dude, and instead of him on the count of the snap, I think he can't hear rail. I think he waiting on a defensive player to react before he get off in his kick. So maybe he can't hear the clap. So maybe somebody should tap him, and then when they give him a tap, a second or later the ball snaps to give him a heads up and say, okay, the ball about to come, so he can come on out of his break. Because his problem is either he can't hear the break, he can't hear the clap, or he just a second or so late coming out of his kick. If he get out of his kick faster, he can block. Like it was improved a little bit in the second quarter. The faster he got out of his kick, the better he started blocking. But when he just come out of his stance late, he just can't block. And that's just a big issue with Pritchard. A lot of times he come out of his stance too late. I don't know if because it's heavy. I don't know if because it's bad placement. Maybe he leaning forward too much, or what. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know how. I don't know how. I don't know because I'm sitting behind them most of the time when they on the field, and then by me sitting in the alumni section, can't really see when they deep and they far on the end of the field unless I blow the phone up try to see it. So I can't really focus on his stance very well. But I think that's the big issue. Wilkin Forms be on one side, Elijah Pritchard on the other side. And we got to figure out how to get Jalen Roberts just to get a little bit more aggressive with keeping his hands on the inside. Because a few times he got those elbows doing a little flaring, and he could have got
Right.
called for some holding right there too. And then just a snap, just getting the snap more consistently good instead of some of those high snap, because that one high snap cost a turnover inside our
Yeah.
red zone, which the defense kept them from scoring. But if that were
Worth their
anybody
salt.
really like
Yeah.
said that, yeah, if that was somebody like Georgia, man, that bad snap that probably end up costing you a game if it's a tight
Yeah.
ball game like that. But
All
I
facts,
think
man.
that's the biggest issue because I don't see the defense taking the back step. I don't see the defense going backwards because the way they play and they play with a whole lot of young guys, the young guys only gonna get better by the time they play Georgia. So I don't
Right.
see it getting worse. I see them getting better and better and better on defense. The offense is clicking. They should have scored 80 points tonight, but bad snaps and missed blocks end up getting 63 points. So it's stuff that they can clean up easy on offense, but it's gonna start with the two tackles.
Right. I agree. I can't deny that at all. Shout out to Jay Jackson. Jay, yeah, I saw that, man. That was terrible. And I went to him, so that broke my heart, man. You know what I mean? JB718, what up with you, bro? How you feeling,
Don't,
man?
don't let that my fault. I was about to say
No, you good.
don't let them folks. They just hyping themselves up, thinking Payne Thorne is the
Yeah.
next Cam Newton or whoever great quarterback to come in there. Don't let that hype you up. They do this all the time. They start off high, then they end miserable.
Of course. Be sure what you think, man. What's give me something that you kind of looked at like, you know.
That was, like I said before, it was that Elijah Pritchard on that left side, that left tackle spot. I'm worried about. It all depends on. I don't think Proctor's going to be out like a long time. We can win this week without him. So if he need rest, give him rest. He'll have him ready for the rest of the season. There's no need to rush him back, but we do need. I'm with Coach Carl. Try some of these young guys out. It's a lot of talent on that offensive line. See how those guys work. See who mesh with one another. I actually want to see if Miles can play that left tackle spot. Just try him out over there just to see. I think we all seen enough. Like I said, we've seen enough of Elijah Pritchard. I am so tired of just seeing it. I'm like, man, you're just getting schooled out there oh my God. Have you learned anything, man? Like, what are you doing? But
it was
that I don't know what to say about it. Defensive line, they played outstanding to me tonight.
Yeah.
They was good.
All of them. Yeah, man.
Man, what is Robinson's first name?
Which one? Quindarius?
Quindarius.
Trust me, I would know it very well.
Yeah. Cumer, yeah, man.
34, I believe. Yeah.
I don't know if TJ Finley had glue on his hands on that first set. I don't know how he didn't fumble it. I don't know how he fumbled it because my God, that burst.
Yeah, Q coming on that third down. They coming. Shout out to Uncle Jay, man. Shout out to Jay Townsend. Good to see you, Jay. What up, Coach Sean? Good evening, Jim on the Pound of Roll Tide, brother. What's up, Jay, man? How you doing, Jay? Put in the chat what you think, Jay. I know I value your opinion, man. I need to know what you're thinking, bro. Bama Boy 22, my brother right here. Rusaw should have been playing. Loyalty has held us back a bit. Hey, now, listen. Before we get into our last subject, what Bama Boy 22 said is I'm not casting any stones at our past because we Bama, we've had more success than anybody. But John, brother, I gotta agree with Bama Boy. There's times when I wished I could see other players play, right? There's times when I wish when you see a player struggling that maybe even if the player don't do well, just can we at least see the young man play? Can we at least get him out there and see what he can do? And we wouldn't do it. We just gonna go down with the ship. You know what I'm saying? So
No, absolutely.
I agree with you, Bama Boy. What you think, John?
Yeah, so I made a video a couple of days ago that I surprisingly didn't make too many Alabama fans unhappy. But the video was based around what I said was Nick Saban standards. And essentially a part of it was loyalty. But most of it to me was how willing was Nick Saban to adapt to the NIL landscape, right? And we've already seen the difference between Kalen DeBoer and all that. But I came at a proven point of, did the University of Alabama need Nick Saban to retire and vice versa, seeing what Kalen DeBoer did at Washington, Fresno State, obviously, and then Sioux Falls? Because it seems like the infusion, the energy, since I would say Steve Sarkisian left, right? And same thing on the defensive ball since Jeremy Pruitt, it's kind of slowly died down a little bit. And with that, it seemed like Nick Saban and his staff was relying more on experience than just getting the best player on the field at the end of the day. Because there's a lot of people that should have been playing a lot earlier, and a lot of people knew that, right? So it's just one of those things where you can be too loyal at times. And this is a proven example of this because Kalen DeBoer's first game put up 63 points. Guys, the most Nick Saban ever scored at Alabama was 66. He almost broke the record. He could have at the very end of the game in game one. So in my opinion, the infusion of youth and the willingness to adapt, but I think Kalen DeBoer more than anything, he brings a breath of fresh air and an infusion of youth into this program. And I think it's great. And you look at Nick Saban and him laughing and all that stuff on game day and doing his thing. I think it worked out well for everybody. But yeah, it was just a video where I was talking about the pressure cooker that Nick Saban was creating for everybody and the players around him. We've all heard the players talk about it as well, and the previous coaches. And he didn't do it on purpose. It's not like he's yelling, but when you come in as Tommy Rees, you're offensive coordinator, the greatest coach of all time. Can you imagine the pressure that would put on you instantly from game one? How does that feel like? You know what I mean? He's not doing it on purpose, but it's a standard and an expectation that you're held to every day by Nick Saban and the University of Alabama. It's almost unachievable, and you're held against every metric. So
yeah,
it's hard to talk about the relief of the pressure cooker that Kalen DeBoer has given to this staff and the University of Alabama and the fans too. Because, I basically went through a damn grieving process through the offseason of losing these guys and seeing Kalen DeBoer come in and not knowing a lot of this stuff. So, yeah.
That's the whole fact, man. I can't deny it, man. That's a whole fact. Coach Jay, Uncle Jay says, we started out a little shaky, Coach Sean, but we came on later. We had too many penalties. Yes, we did. And I'm glad that Milroe and Brailsford got in sync. They've got to play better, though. All facts. I'll say this, guys. For game one, brand new coaches, brand new coordinators, brand new compliance people, brand new everything. I think what was the score? 63-0?
63-0.
Man, I believe I'll take it.
Yeah.
I believe I'll take it.
And just so what made things even more crazy, the counting number for Tuscaloosa is 63.
Wow.
Oh, really?
Oh, good sign.
That's
good
kind of
sign.
money that happened in game one.
So
go ahead,
B.
Real quick. I just seen some with Ryan Williams speaking to the media, and I was like, a freshman talking?
Yeah, that's different.
That is new.
We hadn't seen that in 17 years, bro. You know, unless it's bowl week or something. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So let's move into this last subject, man. Now this team is coming, and I know it's early, but I want to move into it because I want to take how we play. It directly relates to how we played tonight. The team that we play Saturday, obviously, is South Florida. Now, South Florida is a better team than Western Kentucky. Much better offense, um, and they will challenge our secondary at veer and shoot with the space and things of that nature. You know, they'll this team will scheme you. This team will scheme you. They'll watch film. That they'll see where the young players are, and they'll try to attack them. Let me start with the other way. Let me start with you, Brinsky. I want to know your thoughts on how do you think this young secondary will actually hold up when they're really challenged.
That's what I've been concerned about throughout the whole off season. That's why I was hoping that some of the guys would have stayed, like Caleb Downs and oh my god, I'm drawing a blank on him just that quick. I've been saying his name all year. He went to Ole Miss.
Trey Amos.
Yeah.
Trey Amos.
That which is
Yeah.
still the one was just crazy to me because he was gonna be our number one, and then we
Yeah.
would have had the money at two once he came in. Then we would have had enough experience right there. Now you have all these young guys out there, and now the lights are brighter. We gonna find out who gonna bend, but don't break. We just gonna find out, man. Do you got that dog in you? You know how to stay composed. Are you ready for that moment? Yeah, we know who we playing against today, which is Western Kentucky. We knew we
Yeah.
was going to beat them. That is no surprise. But what's going to happen when Georgia coming in? You're going to have extra media people there. You know it's going to be the pressure of trying to win that game. We know what Carson Beck can do.
Yeah.
So we're going to see when the lights are brightest. That's just the only thing, man. I just hope they can hold up, and I don't think they should be playing. Like, I guess they just trying to get them. I don't know if I can say this, but bust they cherry
Yeah.
early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what they were
Yeah.
doing early with the
Thanks.
game. But I think we need to have more experience. But if they the best person to go out there, put them out there. We just got to see, man. Later on down the line, Wisconsin's going to be a great test for us just
Yeah.
because it's on the road and we know how loud it is out there. Now that
Yeah.
is a perfect environment to just see how they're going to communicate when you can't hear. There's going to be a lot of hand signals for that
Thanks.
game, so we'll see.
Coach Carl.
I say it like this, Coach. As a defensive minded coach, right? When you got young guys and your young guys playing the man to man, or your young guy playing zone, and they playing with their eyes towards the ball. When your young guy playing with their eyes toward the ball, it don't matter what coverage you playing, who they playing against, or where they playing at. If their eyes are playing toward the ball, those young guys will be able to cover. All of them running with 20, 20, 21, 22 miles per hour on that defense. They probably got the fastest defense in the nation because they flying.
Yeah,
With 40 some kids in the whole dang program that run over 20 miles per hour. So the kids are fast. And when you got fast, smart, agile kids like that, and they all playing with eyes towards the ball, it really don't matter what scheme you put them in. If they can play with their eyes back on the ball, it's gonna be hard to pass the ball on that team. And especially when the safety playing and they playing read type defenses. That's why Keon Sal had 2 picks because he's playing read. He's not playing react. But Nick Saban offenses, they playing react to the ball. Everything is a reaction. They playing with their back to the ball and they're reacting. And Caleb Womack defense, that 4-2-5, everything is predicated on eyes to the ball. You get your eyes on the ball, then you can make plays on the ball. And that's what the part I love about it, man. And I'm like Jay, man. Like I think personally, I think Nick Saban actually held Alabama defenses back in the last 3 years because all the defensive coaches that he could have brought in, he wanted them to run his defense. And what Caleb DeBoer did, when he brought the defense coordinator and he let him bring in his own defensive scheme, and when he brought in his defensive scheme, and all he had to do was just put his scheme in Alabama talent, and then you can see how it flows, man. And long as these young guys, older guys, it don't matter what mixture he put out there, if they playing with their eyes to the ball, it's gonna be hard to pass the ball against Alabama. And even with his vaunted passing attack coming from South Florida, even with Georgia coming in 3 weeks, even if we go to Wisconsin with all that loud noise, those guys playing with their eyes to the ball, you're not gonna pass the ball. That's kind of like LSU years ago when they had Tyrann Mathieu and all those kids. Pat Peterson, when you playing with your eyes to the ball, that's when they start calling you lockdown corners because you running man to man and you running with a receiver, and so soon the receiver turn his head, you turn your head, and then you still can run stride for stride with him, and still looking back at the ball, and then that's how you get your deflection. That's how you get your picks. And as long as those kids playing like that, man, it's gonna be hard. And I'm telling you, it's gonna be hard to pass the ball consistently on Alabama. I don't care who is the quarterback. And you seen T.J. Finley at Auburn pick our ass apart. So it's not like T.J. Finley's a bad quarterback. But he picked our ass apart with Nick Saban in Auburn. And he couldn't do nothing tonight. Even though the pass rush was ferocious and that pass rush keep coming the way it's coming, ain't nobody passing the ball anyway because you're not going to have time. You're going to have to sit back in that pocket and wait till a play develop unless you be running these shallow, crossing with these shallow miss routes, try to do these quick 3 and 5 yard passes. I mean, yeah, you might get those off. But how many times your little small running backs or wide receiver going to keep running in front of the killers at linebacker? Cray Russo's a monster, man.
Yeah.
How many fools you know gonna run across the middle of Cray Russo standing in the middle of a three? Like they got 3 down linebacker, Cray Russo standing in the middle of 2 linebackers. Like he's like a runner 3-3-5, and Cray Russo just move around where he want to. I mean, who gonna run across like that dude? Look like he in the NFL already as a sophomore. Who run across the middle and I ain't going across the middle looking at Cray Russo. and I'm in my 40s.
Yeah.
And I'm just
that's
being
a whole
honest,
fact,
like,
Coach.
So you run the Mitch cross there, you see Cray Russo, I'm like, nah, bro, like, nah, I'm good. So everything you running is gonna have to be behind the linebackers or quick outs. And the way they sitting on the outs, it's gonna be hard to run quick outs, and it's gonna be hard to go across the middle because the linebackers are dropping with depth. And you go too deep across the middle. Keon Sampson back there like a robber. He got his ski mask on, ready to run in the bank.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know, man. I just don't see offense having that much time to pass the ball with that defensive line coming. Like LT Overton, just like Kalen DeBoer said, he a 280-pound ass kicker. Cause that LT Over look like he look unstoppable too tonight. So
He
I don't
played
know,
well.
man.
He played well. I agree, Coach. I agree.
I'm not right now. From what I seen tonight live in person, I'm not too worried about the defense. I'll be there next week. I'll see how they play against South Florida, and if they play the same type of defense against South Florida, I'm gonna just chalk it up for the rest of the season because it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard to play against Alabama.
All right, John, what you thinking, man? You think?
South Florida. So I did get a chance to watch them a little bit, and I'll say this: we're gonna know if our secondary can tackle in space, right? Really, really quick. And a lot of people tend to overlook South Florida's run game as well. I believe they had over like 200 yards tonight, or a little bit earlier. So they basically predicate their pass game off the run. So at least this season so far in the first game, seems like once they get the run game coming, bring them down right, it opens up the passing game. I just think if we're going to see anything in this game, other than what you guys the coaches have already talked about and know way more about this than me, is I'll say tackling in space. that's what we're going to get out of this game. We're going to figure that out really quick. And yeah, because they get their running backs out to the flats as well a lot, it seems like,
Right.
and they get off to the edge. And if you can't seal the edge, then you're going to have some real problems. So gap discipline, I guess you could say, is going to be a thing to watch out for as well in the USF game. Because, if you let these guys loose in space, speed is speed, right? So just because you're a 5-star or a 1-star, that 10-5, 100, it's still a 10-5, 100. So it doesn't matter. So, yeah, that's my take on it.
My thing, Brinsky and John, is I agree with everything Coach Carl said, but the thing that worries me about this coach is not going to try to just beat you, with basic 9 routes.
Ooh.
By the time this coach is going to run veer and shoot at you. He's going to run a lot of bunch sets to where you'll have a lot of freshmen in one little cluster. When you have 3 receivers on one side, they do a lot of crossing, what we call cross your face routes. And you got to know who to pick up. You got to know if he releases inside first, which DB is going to go with him, which DB has outside leverage, which DB has inside leverage, that's where things get confusing, right? Western Kentucky didn't have the personnel. It doesn't seem like to do it. I think with the pass rush that we have, that is our trump card. That is our trump card, because this offense that we're going to face Saturday is going to be very similar to Tennessee. This guy was Tennessee's offensive coordinator when they beat us. They have very, very, very wide splits. That's all to create space. That's all to get your safeties on an island by themselves. They want to create space. They want to attack space. They throw their routes to space, as we call that. You know what I mean? So this will be a very different monster. Our pass rush will be imperative for this next team. Very excited about how we played on defense. For one game, I give them all the credit that they have just due. Anytime you can get the other team to leave with a goose egg, you had a good day, right? We all know there's things to work on, obviously, but anytime you can beat anybody 63-0, what was 63-0,
Yeah.
goose egg, that's a good day, man. That's a good day. And I'm really, really, really happy about it. And really, really excited for the future, man. You know what I mean? The football season has officially started for real. And, it's time, brother. It's time. We'll be doing this post game, man, every Saturday. So anytime anybody want to tap in, brother, we're here to talk about what we saw, the good, the bad, the ugly. We keep it real here. The truth is in the details here. We don't try to, be those sunshine fans. It's not going to tell the truth about it. It is what it is, right? So, John, let everybody know where they can find you at, brother.
YouTube, Bama Talk with John, very simple. Then Twitter or X at College FB Lewis, and then as far as Facebook goes, I guess you go to the Alabama Nation Facebook page to follow me there, as well as I post all my content there as well.
Brinsky?
Well, y'all already know, man. I'm Brinsky Sharp with the Sharpshooters Podcast. I just put it down in the comment section. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. And what made this day even more special, today is my 1-year anniversary of the channel.
Oh, wow.
I got in.
Congratulations.
I ain't nothing of it. So make sure you guys go on over there, sub to the channel. Appreciate everybody that already supported me through this journey so far. Appreciate all my brothers. I can't even name all of them right now.
Thanks.
But only people I'm naming Coach Carl and Coach Sean and my dogs, man.
Thanks, bro.
Always very, very supportive. And we I'm just praying that. Oh yeah. Also follow me on Twitter at B_Sharp on Twitter. And definitely gonna be posting a lot more Bama content in the future. And roll Tide.
Tide. Coach Carl.
Yeah, man, you can find me on Twitter as Coach KD Taylor. YouTube is On the Block Sport Talk with Coach Carl. And I appreciate you, Coach Sean, for always inviting me on, man, even though I can't go live right now because I'm in the thick of my season. Hey, I appreciate you coming down last night, Brinsky, man. Big up, man. I really appreciate you. Brinsky came out to my game last night and supported me. So
how did it go, Coach?
Oh man, we built the ass. You know how it is.
Oh, for real?
Oh
That's
yeah,
what's up.
B2A, baby, built the ass content.
That's what's up, man. Yes,
good old
sir.
belt ass. I
So
about
I
to say I
appreciate
need something every second. Then what made it even better? They ran off the field when they were counting down. They just ran off the field. Didn't even bother shaking their hands. That's how you do it in a rivalry game. Nothing personal, just business.
Facts. Facts. That's
hey,
good stuff, coach. Congratulations.
Darius Smith, he decided he was gonna go to Auburn, so we sending him off to Auburn with what, about 40 yards of total offense, and we knocked his ass out the game.
Good stuff.
Goodbye.
Roll Tide to that, man. That's good stuff, man. Congratulations, coach, man. That's what's up, brother. I wish I could have caught it, bro. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, make sure you tap in with these brothers, man. These guys have great content. John done hop back in the game, doing his thing. Very smart, man. Understands this stuff. Doing big things right now. Brinsky's channel, Coach Carl's channel. Shout out to Coach Smook. Shout out to Jan716. Shout out to our brother Ty Hayes. Shout out to Jake, my brother Jake, man. He's on another show right now and set the
Yep.
tone. Shout out to Jason from Hall of Fame Sports. Shout out to Coach I at Fan Addict Sports. All these channels are great, man. Make sure you guys tap in with them, man. They got great content. They really, really, really gonna give you the real when it comes to football. It's the channels that I go see when I really want to, get down and dirty with it. All the guys you see on here and the guys I just named, man, you can definitely find me at JMHO Sports Talk here on YouTube and Twitter, man. Thank you, guys. Everybody in the chat, you guys are awesome, man. We had 250 people in here at one point in time on Twitter and YouTube. That was crazy, man. Thank you guys for tapping in, bro. You guys are awesome in the chat. My brother Eric D, Steven Angle, everybody tap in, man. You guys always do it big, man. Goof, what's up, my brother Goof, Matt Farms, Tony Novinsky, everybody, man. Jay, Uncle Jay, always. Antoine, always. Terrence Richardson, just everybody, man. Everybody tap in, man. Mike Jones, JB718, Bama Boy 22, J Jackson, everybody, man, you guys are absolutely awesome. We're gonna be doing this every Saturday, man. My brother Bear always coming here and support, man. It's my broski. Tap in with us every Saturday, man. If you guys get a chance, we're gonna give you the real how we see it. And let's make this a normal thing, man. Thank you all for tapping in, man. I appreciate all my brothers for tapping in, man. Shout out to all my bros who doing other things right now. We all got channels and just trying to give y'all the content, man. So until next Saturday, we'll be on with Ty on
Monday.
Monday night about 5:30, right? We'll be back on with him on Friday morning. And we just gonna do it how we always do it, man. We do the post game. We're right here with all the fellas, man. We all tap in and just keep it real. Just keep it real, man. Let's thank God for this win and on to the next, man. Roll Tide to you all, man. And now I'm gonna introduce you into my friend, the spinning wheel of doom.